Is it fair to say that there's still a stigma against American footballers? You can have the same conversation about how Pulisic is playing at Milan.
Part of it is Weston McKennie's brilliance, right? You know, he's so undervalued as a midfielder. As Eduardo says, I think he's the top assist for Juventus. He's kind of by virtue had to been the best playmaker this year, and he's taken that role and ran with it. You see a guy like Chiesa, and if Kostic is out there, you look at him, you're like, okay, these guys can play, they make moves. But you think of Weston McKennie as a box to box, grind it out, not really being a creative kind of guy, and so you see him having a give and go with Chiesa. Ball ultimately gets back to McKennie. You're thinking, okay, whatever, what's he gonna do to us? And he had great vision to find Cambiaso. Cambiaso makes this run across the box from his right wing spot into the box, and McKennie finds him. Great look by him. It's great vision by him. Cambiaso with a fantastic finish, but I think people are undervaluing Weston McKennie so much. We've talked ad nauseum about how good Weston McKennie is this season.
Yeah.
But I think throughout the league, and for whatever reason, whether he's American or whatever, or maybe doesn't have that prototypical playmaker type skill set, teams are just ignoring him for whatever reason, allowing him to say, "Come beat me." Right? We see this in the NFL where teams say, they stack the box with the running back and say, "Beat us with the quarterback." They're like, "Hey, Weston McKennie, you dare to beat us," and he's doing it this year. I don't know, I forget how many assists he has this year, but he's doing it at times. And so, you're gonna give him an opportunity like that, he's gonna take advantage of it. And great vision to find Cambiaso on the goal. And I mean, a lovely team goal. Anytime you see the passing like that and Cambiaso putting it away. And that kind of unlocking Atalanta, I think, had a lot to do with it. And like I said, the disconnection was there, and it's probably because they didn't think McKennie was going to hurt him like he did.
Yeah. Do you think your point about McKennie, because you can have the same conversation about how Pulisic is playing at Milan. Where
Yeah.
you've heard people, even Mike Grella, saying, look, if Milan didn't have Teo and Leao, they'd be a mid-table team. I'm over here looking at how Pulisic has performed for Milan this season and saying, well, wait, what about Pulisic? Is it fair to say that there's still a stigma against American footballers after all this time, even with the level of play that they have elevated to compared to even 10 years ago?
I absolutely think so. I think if you look at any American player in the league, they're always going to have that shtick against them. I mean, you look at Musa. Musa is a fantastic midfielder.
Yeah.
He's just undervalued. He's very silky smooth. He's very similar to what he does to Benacer, but people don't even value Musa, right? And then you look at Pulisic, same thing, right? McKennie is a different situation because he's a midfielder among a lot of players that are similar pieces, right? Rabiot is a similar type, Locatelli is a similar type, and so he gets lost in that shuffle.
Yep.
But you don't expect him to do anything. And then you look at Milan. Yes, they have Leo and Teo and Leao. I'm mixing up the names now on the left hand side. And when you look at Pulisic, he's not getting the love, and they're saying because Leao and Teo are doing so well. That's true, but he's still got to do his thing. Milan had crap for how many years with Salamakers. What was that guy you used to love? The Spanish player. Name escaping me. Good thing he's finally got in my memory. Right back. Yeah, Suso. You had.
I'll never forget.
But all the crap that they had on the right wing side, they've never produced, and Milan still have done successful. Now they have Pulisic. When the other two are struggling, he's been carrying the team, and he's been. I think being American is part of it, where they're like, oh, he's just not that good. And you see Premier League fans making fun of him. It's like, oh yeah, well, no, your team probably sucked. And being Chelsea, sorry, Apex, I know you're in the chat. But no, your team, whatever team he's on before sucked, and now he's got a chance to kind of flourish, have that chance at taking over again. And you see that when teams are going to heavily mark Teo and Leao for a good reason, he's going to have opportunity, and he's taking advantage of those opportunities. And so, yes, I think that stigma still is very much in the league, and even throughout Europe. I think overall it's just a stigma that stays with Americans, and they kind of earned that right for over the years. Had nothing really to prove, and obviously Clint Dempsey is one guy who kind of broke that mold, and now you're seeing more other players like Pulisic doing it. So it's going to be there. It's going to take a long time to come out of that stigma. It's not going to be overnight and say, hey, it's a household name outside of the U.S. So
it's still going to take some time. Who knows what it's going to mean? I mean, if it means winning, do they need to win a World Cup to shake that? Who knows? But I mean,